Well, it's a court action granted by a judge last night. It's going to come into force later today, and effectively that injunction bans people from going on to the motorway network and blocking those roads, clearly causing a danger to themselves and to the travelling public. If they decide to go and block the road anyway, they are then in breach of a court injunction. They are in contempt of court, and they can be arrested and held in police custody. Now, we're told that the length of time they would be held in police custody wouldn't be any longer than 24 hours, so they would be back out and potentially able to do this again. But it's a ratcheting up of the potential action that the authorities can take to try to get a handle on what has been a real issue and a growing issue in the past couple of weeks, with multiple junctions around the M25 in particular being blocked by this group, Insulate Britain, as they try to highlight issues around insulation of properties that they believe the badly insulated properties are adding to fuel bills, are adding to emissions which are endangering the climate. Of course, taking to the roads may not be the most logical way in most people's minds of highlighting this particular issue, but Insulate Britain are unapologetic. They are doing it because they know it's a high-profile direct action campaign that may annoy a lot of people, but will get a lot of publicity, as it is doing. As I say, they've been unapologetic. The fact that they caused many hours of disruption for the travelling public, and even an accident that hasn't officially been linked to the Insulate protest, but motorists who were there at the scene last Wednesday on the M25 in Surrey said that they were in no doubt that the accident had been a direct result of a protest further up the motorway, which had meant that the traffic was at a standstill and vehicles coming from behind ploughed in to those vehicles at a standstill. Despite that, despite the obvious dangers, there was more pictures that came out yesterday of protesters running right out into the middle of a busy carriageway on the M25, and those lorries and cars having to grind to a halt. Luckily no one injured, but very dangerous activity according to the Transport Secretary Grant Shapps, the Home Secretary Priti Patel. They know that people are frustrated and angry, that they want the police to take more action, and this injunction that has now been sought and granted is another step in ratcheting up the sanctions that they have now to be able to stop Insulate Britain, hopefully, from causing more disruption on the motorway network.
Well, Mark, thank you very much for bringing us that from outside New Scotland Yard.